Well, hey everyone, Saul Bliss here, coming from the Spooky Nook facility. Great opportunity to get together with other FCA staff around the country, and shooting a video here for the X, and really excited to share with you some of the experiences I've had, some of the the setbacks, and some of the highlights and things like that I've had over my many years of learning not only the game of lacrosse, but learning about myself, learning about my teammates, and about 20 years ago, learning a lot about God. And so I live in Syracuse, New York, Janesville area. I grew up in Tully, small little school, but great community. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, and we all went through there, and just had a great life growing up. And not that we had a ton of stuff, but we're all really close. We're still very close. Our kids are really close. And every time we get together, it's family dinner all the time. We just laugh, joke, have a great time. And I think that speaks in a lot to where I got to in my lacrosse career, where I'm continuing to go, and really my faith journey. I was given the opportunity to play at the next level. I actually was really close to doing basketball, and I had a couple of opportunities to play football as well, but none of them really compared to the opportunity to play in Division I lacrosse. And so I kind of went with that. And even there, I played I played some club volleyball at Syracuse, and until that was like I shouldn't really be doing that because I'm playing Division I lacrosse. And so it was really tough for me to go from being a 3-sport athlete, doing something different all the time, to now you have to focus on playing lacrosse. And it kind of comes up with these the finality of just the season's over, or this is done, or I'm not going to have a chance to play that sport again. And I bring that into my faith of, there's just different seasons of what we do as a Christian athlete. And I'm still working through, letting things go, letting things die, letting things finish so that God can bring me to another step. And, I think that's, one of the things that I try to pursue, or try to, let people in on is it's okay for things to end, because you have something else and you have something new. And I struggled with that at Syracuse. I struggled with, my last year. I go back to these given opportunities. Most people don't play sports after high school. I was given an opportunity to play in college, and even in college, most people don't play. They play 4 years. I was given the opportunity to play for 5 years because I knew nothing about, I really didn't know lacrosse that well. So I redshirted my freshman year, and Coach Simmons, Coach Desko, they're like, we're not really recruiting you as a lacrosse player, because you're really not that good, but you're a great athlete, so we're going to make you a good lacrosse player. And that was tough to hear. I kind of went from Tully, where it's kind of a big fish in a small pond, and now I'm at Syracuse, and listen, you're just a rookie, you're really not that good, great athlete, but you don't handle the stick all that well, you don't really know off-ball defense that well. And so I was like, all right, well, I could swallow that and just kind of fade off in the background, or really it just kind of motivated me to, I gotta learn this stuff. I can't just rely on athleticism anymore. So I had a great opportunity to learn from some just terrific defensemen that were ahead of me at Syracuse, and just great teammates, great leadership there at Syracuse. And I had great captains all the way through. They were like, listen, you didn't come here just to play lacrosse. You came here with an expectation that you're going to be excellent. And so that's what drove us. And when I was at Syracuse, I was completely driven by sport. I was completely driven by how I performed in practice, on the field, in a game, that kind of stuff. And I worked hard at it, and I spent a lot of time perfecting my skills, getting more athletic, getting stronger, and that's all I cared about, you know. And I did the school thing. I had a horrible first semester. I couldn't manage time for anything, and you know, almost wasn't eligible to play lacrosse anymore. And I was like, listen, I really got to get better in the classroom, but I knew I had to get better in the classroom because I had to get on the field to play lacrosse. And you know, it worked, but I just kind of knew like that was not the right mentality. And you know, but that's what I was doing. And you know, I didn't know anything about God. I didn't know anything about Jesus. Didn't not believe in him, but I was just like, he doesn't pertain to me right now. And you know, so kind of fast forward to 2002. We were playing in the semifinal, and you know, I was having an okay game. You know, starting to get my legs underneath me, playing just an outstanding attackman, Johnny Christmas. That, man, he had my number for the first couple runs, and I couldn't catch up to him. You know, even having the you know, the great fortune to practice against Mikey Powell every day in practice, and you know, no one better, no one faster than him. I'll argue that till the cows come home. But you know, I couldn't get Christmas, and you know, in the first quarter was a little rough, but we got through it, and then I started getting my legs underneath me, started figuring them out, running my angles a little bit better, and I think I was kind of winning the matchup a little bit more, but then right before halftime, you know, I went to get a ground ball, I planted, turned, and then popped. My ACL went, and I didn't know that, but I knew something was wrong. But right before halftime, you know, I kind of look at that is, and I think everyone has it. Some people, you know, maybe a little more powerful than others. Some people know it, some people don't. But I believe, my personal opinion is there's a catalytic moment in everyone's life to where they go from living this one way to now, I need to rely on Jesus. And I didn't know that at the time. I had no clue. But now looking back at it, I'm like, that was my catalytic moment where I got to go from relying on my own strength, relying on Saul Bliss, to I can't do anything for myself. I can't even walk, you know. Now I got to rely on someone else. And, you know, at that time I really relied, you know, getting back to being able to play. I really relied on my trainers at Syracuse. I relied on, you know, just an awesome guy, Brad Pike, who's still there at Syracuse. You know, he spent a lot of time with me, but you know, I couldn't rely on myself anymore. I couldn't play in the second half, obviously, and you know, so Tom Hardy, went to high school with him. Great, you know, great friend, great teammate of mine. He scores the tying goal in the fourth quarter against Virginia, and just an awesome shot. You know, I think he split right to left, low bouncer. And we tie the game up, and then we go into overtime, and then, you know, he scores the game winner, you know, behind the cage, kind of a little change of direction again. I believe he was going to his left hand and scores another low goal, and we win the game. And you know, I couldn't do much, but I knew, like, all right, this is going to give me a shot to play again, you know. And so the game ends on Saturday, and then, you know, start getting treatment on my knee, and I play on Monday, and it wasn't great, but I got through it, and we won the championship in 2002. And so I get back to Syracuse, and they're like, hey, your knee is like crab meat, you know, your ACL is crab meat, you're done, you can't, we got to get this thing fixed. So so that's kind of like, that was my moment where I'm like, all right, I can't, like I said, I can't rely on myself anymore. I got to rely on someone else. And you know, that summer, I had conversations with my old basketball coach from high school, who was a family friend of ours still, and my brother, and who had just recently, like within a couple of years, kind of gave his life to Christ, and he started living in a new way, and I kind of knew that there was something different about him, but couldn't put my finger on it. And then throughout that summer, we just started having more conversations, and you know, at the end of summer in August, right before going into my senior year, my knee was feeling better, like started getting a glimmer of like I might be able to play. but they invited me to church. And so I go to church, and it was like one of those experiences. Some of you have maybe had this, some of you not, but the whole service, the pastor, it was like the pastor was just looking at me, and like there was no one else in the room. And he tells everyone, like, listen, if you feel like there's something inside of you that wants a change, wants something different, I want you to come up here and I want to pray with you. And so I'm like, heck no, I don't want to do that. No, not going to happen. And then like 30 seconds later, I just started walking up, and so I gave my life to Christ that day, and I still had I had no clue what it meant. I had no clue. And so part of the problem was, I think I was 22 at the time, so I'd lived my life for 22 years not knowing Christ, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, so I'm a Christian? What does that mean? And I had these experiences. I wasn't living for Christ for 22 years, but I know, like, I had this feeling like I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I shouldn't be doing that anymore. I shouldn't be going to classes just because I want to play lacrosse. I need to have a better purpose. I need to have a better reason to doing things. But then there was also like this drive to play lacrosse and be competitive that wasn't taken away in that instant, and it's still not gone. Like, I still compete like crazy, but I have that kind of motivation inside of me that there's a better way to compete. There's a better way to walk my life, other than just doing it for me, doing it because I want to beat someone, doing it because that's what I think it's supposed to do, or that's what people around me are telling me that's how I should do it. And I've over the years I've been able to find this balance of, I can be super competitive, I can be super driven, but I can do it looking to God, and I can do it and I can be patient for His timing to do it, and I can do it in a way that He wants me to do it, and where sometimes it's not even the way I want to do it, and we wrestle a little bit with that. So it still continues to be a journey, and I talked about in the beginning, like all these things coming to an end, and like this faith journey that we're on, that I'm on, it's not ending. It's just continually changing, and it's sharpening me. And I guess I would say, I'm a parent of 2 kids now, and I have a wonderful family. My wife and I have been married for 15 years, and so there's the parent aspect of it, there's the coach aspect of it, there's the athlete aspect of it, and in all those scenarios, I just encourage you, as a parent, you're going to plant seeds into your kids, and you're going to want it to grow right there. And it took me 22 years, and I'm 41 now, and I'm still figuring things out. But I think if you read the Bible at all, you'll understand that it's about the heart of what you're doing, and it's not necessarily about what happens right now in the moment. But I would just encourage athletes too. Like, you don't have to have it all figured out right now. You don't have to be doing things the way that your teammates want you to do it. If there's something inside you that says you should be doing something different, then do something different. And like, you're going to go through some struggles, but in the long run, I think you're going to look back, as I did. You're going to look back and say, I'm so happy that there was that catalytic moment that changed my life. And you're not gonna see it right then. You're gonna hate it right then. I didn't like having my ACL torn. I didn't like not being able to play fall ball. But I got through it, and I can look back now and I can say, okay, this is what God was teaching me in that moment. So coaches, don't ever minimize your ability to impact athletes. Don't take it for granted. It was my high school basketball coach that taught me more about myself than I could ever know. So as you as you struggle with things that you don't maybe know about, struggle with decisions you don't want to make, or struggle with decisions that you already did make, I would encourage you, God can honor anything that you do as long as your heart's in the right way. And you're going to make mistakes. I make a ton of them, but God's going to honor that. He has the ability. I just heard this the other day. He has more grace in him than we have the ability to screw it up. And it's just an awesome thing about knowing that. And I know that because I read the Bible. I know that because I'm around people that pour into me. I know that because I have leaders in my life that care about me and that care about my faith. And I think there's a big thing about balancing your competitiveness and balancing what God is teaching you. And I think it's different for all of us. And you're going to be taught things, when you read the Bible one day that's going to be different 5 years from now. And I think there's big power in that. So, I appreciate the opportunity, the FCA has given me here. It continues to change my life, being involved with FCA as a staff person, and being around the lacrosse players that are in the Northeast, that are in the FCA lacrosse program, and the families that are involved in it. It's just an awesome experience. It's an awesome thing. And I as any good coach would, I think you try to learn from every experience you have, learn from every opportunity you have, and figure out how can I apply it to my life now. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for giving me the opportunity again. And that's my story. I'm still working through it, but hoping to figure it out soon.